All right, everybody, forewarning, this is not a movie where we're going to blow stuff up in. This is all garden. My buddy Dan at Home in the Sticks YouTube channel is asking to see our garden. That's my wife Della. Here's the garden. Well, first let me show you the chickens. That's the chicken run. And that side over there's the garden run. That's the garden this year, that's the garden next year. This is the chickens this year, that's the chickens over there next year. Our first row here is bok choy, Swiss chard, red calabos, more Swiss chard, white Swiss chard, some bulb fennel up in there, here and there, more bok choy, more bulb fennel, more cabbage. This row over here is our broccoli, which we already cut the heads off of, and we're waiting on side shoots for the rest of it. There's still a couple that haven't been harvested yet, but they're still small. This is only the second year we're growing in this garden bed, so we've got a lot of weeds that we're dealing with still. This is turnips and tatsoi. This is the tatsoi. There's a turnip right there. This row here is pretty small. It's our extra hardy German hardneck garlic and some spinaches that are really little. And in between all those spinaches are cabbages that haven't come up yet. We got some eggs from the chickens today. We got some lettuce, radish, an accidental radish, some cilantro down there by the fence. It's real little. Got an empty bed right there. That was beans, and we never put anything else in it yet. We got some radicchio, pretty small still, growing down this row. Pretty sure those are collards. Collards growing here. Got a couple turnips that got in there by accident. I'm not quite sure how. Dan was asking about the kohlrabi. So here's the kohlrabi. There's a purple one, it's still pretty small. Another purple one, it's still pretty small. White. There's another one that's almost ready. There's one that is ready. A couple that are ready. Another cabbage among the weeds over there. We just pulled the tomatoes out, so there's still a couple tomatoes that are dried up, hanging around, but we're pulling them out today. I got some Brussels sprouts and some cabbage and some Brussels sprouts, and if you notice, they're kind of chewed up because the chickens found a way to stick their head through there. So I'll have to block them off a little better. Other Brussels sprouts. That's a bull's blood beet. There's a carrot, some more carrots, more beets, more Brussels sprouts. More carrots. Those are purple dragon carrots from Seed Savers Exchange. See if I can show you what they look like. It looks almost like a turnip or a beet, but it's not. It's a carrot. And they're still pretty young, so. And this is the first time we're growing carrots, so they're going to be all twisted up. But that's what you get until the soil's broken down. Got a bunch of carrots in here. See if you can see that. Oh, leaves keep falling in the way. It's kind of hard to see, but there are some carrots underneath of there. They're just little. More carrots with beets. There's some more carrots with some radishes mixed in there. We just pulled our tomatoes out of this section. This was all tomato vines, and before they died, we planted some kale underneath of them and some cabbage underneath of them. And that's what's still growing down here. Kale and cabbage. And then this row was cauliflower with some radishes mixed in, and then garlic. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a row of garlic on the outside of that. And we got Swiss chard, large white Swiss chard and carrots in that row. There's a big old fat twisted up carrot we just pulled out of the ground. And those are some Danny beans, rattlesnake beans from Deep South Homestead. Danny, my buddy Albert, went down there and visited him and brought some back, and we're just trying to increase our seed supply right now. There's some artichokes, some cabbage, some lettuce, some cabbage, some artichoke, some cabbage. More tatsoi here. More bok choy. And they're pretty small, but there's some more kale growing in there. And that pretty much wraps it up. So, there's our waterfowl over there hanging out. Here's the chickens. A little bit closer up of the chickens. So Rhode Island red rooster, white American breast rooster and hens, and that's a Rhode Island red rooster. We got about 20-ish birds right now, but about 6 or 7 of them are almost ready for the freezer camp. So they're gonna go in the freezer pretty soon, and we'll end up with probably around 12 to 14, I think, is what we'll have after that. I got these white American breasts from Greenfire Farms, and they've been really good at laying so far. They're just starting, but they're really good so far. Rhode Island Reds, believe it or not, they were given to me kind of on a whim from Tractor Supply. I got 5 hens and 1 rooster. One of them died, but that was just recently, and that's been 2 years now, so she produced plenty of eggs. I'm not sure why she died. It wasn't hot, and she was healthy, so I'm not sure what the deal was, but that's the only one I've had die adult-wise. I had a couple chicks die, but not from them. And the Rhode Island Reds, to be quite honest with you, have laid really, really good for us with very little input. I'm looking forward to the American breasts. I want to have one breed that does really good at both eggs and meat, and this one is supposed to be it. You can check them out at Greenfire Farms. The chicks are pretty pricey, but our goal is to become a breeder for our own stock. So I'm trying to build up my breeding stock with them right now also. So that's our little pad on the tip of the sip up here in northwest Mississippi. Let me know what you think.